I'm Grace Ashman, and welcome to today's podcast discussing Heineken's 2017 Worlds Apart digital marketing campaign. The campaign and its objectives. This campaign was used as promotion of their brand message, Open Your World, which was rooted in Heineken's core beliefs that to progress, you must cross your borders. Heineken told a story using conflicting views to unite an audience with differences spurred from a divided Britain in 2016. And in light of recent global issues flooding our social media and lives today, I chose this campaign as I feel it's of huge relevance even 4 years on. The experiment had individuals state their point of view on common items in the news, and once paired with someone unknowingly with opposing views, they were asked to complete tasks. Their views were then revealed to one another, and the pairs had to choose whether to leave or stay and discuss over a Heineken. All 3 pairs chose to stay. The brand's objectives were to drive sales, build deeper meaning into the brand, deliver a message of openness, and engage target audience. The target audience. Tailoring the experiment to the target audience set the foundations for reaching these goals. The usual market was young men, financially independent, and living in the city. However, after realising the need to tackle the market of millennials, as the age of consumer had shifted and they represented volume growth opportunity, the brand sought to reach them through displaying consumers from different psychographic segments to embody their brand personality. Of ACRE's 5 dimensions of brand personality, Heineken represents excitement, which is reflected through their values of openness and creativity during the experiment. The consumer's emotional association to Heineken's personality builds deeper meaning and engagement in the brand-consumer relationship. The digital content and strengths. Heineken used all 3 digital classifications, with their most used being earned media, meaning it did not cost. Once the video was uploaded to YouTube, the viral marketing strategy began. This refers to a technique that encourages users to pass on marketing messages to other sites and users with the aim of creating exponential growth in the message visibility. Subsequently, this elicits word of mouth and brand awareness, so purchasing intent will grow. Their global momentum across the media meant sales increased by 11.9% versus the same scheduled campaign period the year before. Although 3 days after posting the experiment, paid media such as pop-up ads and banners were turned on across Facebook and YouTube, of their 13.8 million views, only 2.3 million were paid. By telling a story through addressing divides in society, the viewers could personally connect. But why? Well, stories elicit emotion, ultimately driving sales. Without revolving around the product itself until the end, there is full indulgence from the viewer, which can increase a person's trust in the storyteller and situation, creating long-term engagement. And the video had an average organic completion rate of 65%, meaning the majority watched the full experiment, suggesting the use of storytelling was a success. The proportion of people who said Heineken stands for something meaningful as a result of this increased by 26%. More successes shown here came from Heineken's Facebook, Twitter and website platforms, or in other words, their owned media. Even unprompted celebrities joined the conversation on Twitter, creating a greater organic reach, and their website dedicated a page to their Worlds Apart campaign, as well as detailing their partnership with the Human Library, who hold events to challenge stereotypes and break down barriers. This gave the campaign credibility, turning the acts of setting aside differences and finding common ground over a beer into a real-world experience. And 78% agreed they delivered a message that reflects their value of standing for openness through their platforms. Although it is clear of the extensive reach to consumers, were the audience they specifically targeted engaged? Well, here's their weaknesses and recommendations. Research showed that only 14% of their target audience grasped what the end-line Open Your World meant. As millennials believed that the previous generation broke the world in many ways, from climate change to the economy, and it meant the messaging was out of date and interpreted as pressuring rather than inspirational, which led to the brand message being dropped in 2018. When choosing communication channels, earned media may have the highest level of interactivity, but it has the least amount of control owing to the freedom of organic growth. Paid influencer marketing could have created more control over consumers they reach, secured more sales, and sparked more conversation within millennials specifically. And a 2018 survey also revealed that return on investment was much higher than other channels. Also, using paid search would drive more relevant traffic to the website from the search engine, so consumers could explore their activities, creating greater brand engagement, and also have greater advantage over competitors. Despite this, Worlds Apart gained positive conversation and over 40 million views across all digital platforms, which was mostly organic. I'd say this created great long-term success.